Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdMode, and I'm going to be doing a gameplay commentary over some Battlefield 4. In this particular installation, you guys are going to notice that I'm going to be using the little bird for the duration of the video on the map Flood Zone. I actually really enjoy this particular map like I've told you guys in the past, but overall, I do enjoy using either an LAV or an air vehicle, probably primarily the little bird, considering that the transport helicopter isn't really my cup of tea to say the least, but that's not to say that it's not a good weapon, especially now. But for my attachments on the little bird, I am going to be using the ECM, considering that I do find it to be very good, especially at evading the opposition, and then for my primary weapon, of course, I will be using the 25mm cannons, because I find it to be really good against anything that I come up against. If you are fighting infantry, they absolutely destroy them, a helicopter, armored transport, or even light transport. And when it comes down to it, I just find it allows me to really open my gates up to every single vehicle in the game and also look at everything in a different way instead of having restrictions and having to think a little bit farther outside of the box to try to kill the opposition. But when it comes down to the main gist of it, but as you guys will notice, I'm going to try to keep the other team at bay as well as trying to allow my teammates to bring up some structure and allow themselves to really set up position when it comes down to the main gist of it. Now, of course, I will be using my setup that's a little bit more anti-air. You guys are going to notice that I will be using the air-to-air rockets, considering that I don't want to have the other little birds shooting back at me and trying to have to go back to our spawn. I still want to have the ability to keep their transport vehicles, especially the air ones, at bay, as well as trying to keep their little bird as far away from me or my teammates as possible, considering that if they can get a good footing, they can definitely do a lot of damage, and my teammates probably won't have the ability to bring out their stingers if they are using them, or if they're not going to have anything to really do against an air vehicle that's going to be shooting 25mm cannons, considering that that's probably the most common primary weapon that the little bird occupies. Now, in relation to Flood Zone, of course, Flood Zone's a really good map until probably the flooding occurs. I would think that most of us probably enjoy having our feet on the ground, but of course, you know, when you do have the ability to open up the gates and then you have to kind of swim around, you do have a little bit more of an advantage, especially having the ability to dive, but unfortunately, you also give up a lot of your ground vehicles, and it also really slows down the overall feel of the map. But you either really enjoy when there's just a couple little puddles around, or you really enjoy it when you have the ability to swim and get from point A to point B with maybe not being recognized or detected by the opposition. But for me personally, I enjoy having the ability to see everybody nice and clear and know that if they are running around, I'm going to be able to see them. So definitely I like to take full advantage of that, especially in an air vehicle or even a ground vehicle, but of course, it just depends on how you're playing the game. Now, in relation to what I've been doing the last couple of days, to kind of give you guys a small little update, is I'm actually really prepared for this coming weekend. I look forward to hopefully being able to play some more Battlefield, of course, considering that I don't have to work, which is always a pleasure. I think many of us that are in the workforce are probably really excited about something like that, especially when you do have time off. But when it comes down to it, I look forward to hopefully jumping back on with some friends and getting you guys some pretty cool gameplay, and maybe even doing some squad up series or something of the equivalency. I know that's kind of already a taken series, but hopefully we'll be able to prepare something and add a little bit of a twist on there. But I have a lot of ideas floating around at the moment. Hopefully I'll be able to fill up my whiteboard as well with some pretty cool things and maybe get some projects started, considering that I do have quite a bit of them jotted down, but I guess that will come with time. But of course, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an idea, or just kind of update you in a small manner of what's been going on, and just talk a little bit about how I've been playing this map, considering that I don't post a whole lot of variety when it comes down to other maps, because you guys probably see a lot of Operation Locker, but that's not to say that I don't enjoy the other maps. I just find that the chaoticness of Operation Locker can be pretty fun, especially when you are either running by yourself or running in a team that has the ability to understand how the map flows. Now, for this one in particular, there's not a whole lot to learn. If you have the air vehicles, definitely if you have a good pilot or somebody that knows how to play, you can pretty much dominate the other team. Of course, occupying the flags is always the #1 priority, and it should be something that everybody strives to definitely jump onto and try to get map control. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for about this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed some of the hints that I gave you guys throughout the video. But when it comes down to it, I will see you guys tomorrow, and this is NMO, signing off. Peace.